The Monroe Doctrine by Fredy and Cris. This is James Monroe, and basically he was a former United States president that wrote the Monroe Doctrine on December 2nd, 1832. Anyways, Monroe was a pretty cool guy. He even had a cool nickname, which was the U.S. Protector of the Western Hemisphere. And that's pretty dramatic, considering he just wrote a document. But yeah.
The Monroe Doctrine, in a nutshell, was basically a warning to European powers to not interfere with the Western Hemisphere, and the United States would do the same to avoid them. President Monroe didn't want European powers to extend its influence into the Western Hemisphere. Although the US threatened to declare war on Europe, they never fully committed to the task. Ultimately, it was all bark and no bite.
What the is wrong with this dog? Is it gonna bite? No. Oh, okay. During the time of the Monroe Doctrine, Great Britain then proceeded to colonize Falkland Islands east of Argentina, which then showed that the United States could not back up its claim about declaring war.
It wasn't until after the American Civil War did America finally have the power to back up its claim in the Monroe Doctrine.
What are French fries called in France? Are they called French fries? Nah, I don't think so. This annoying dog again? Well, at least it won't do anything. Oh. Let's get out of here. In the last scene, the US did not want the presence of the French in the Western Hemisphere. So as they promised, they kicked the French out of Mexico with the Mexicans. The US and Mexico were applying pressure onto France, which resulted to the French going back to Europe in 1866. And finally, the French's empire in Mexico ultimately collapsed in 1867.
The US then used the Monroe Doctrine to justify its actions in Central America. The next time the Monroe Doctrine was heavily used was during the Cuban Missile Crisis, when they used it to justify their actions in heavily defending Cuba.
Along with the Monroe Doctrine came the era of good feelings. After the War of 1812, America had a new sense of purpose. The era of good feelings was a time where stability, prosperity, and peace was full of the US. An important thing to remember was that the Federalist Party collapsed and Republicans governed the US without Federalists and strengthened their military power as a whole. A connection to this and the Monroe Doctrine was that America basically crowned itself as the leader of the Western Hemisphere. Anyways, we hope you guys enjoyed this video. It took such a long time to do all of these edits. I don't know why I'm still doing them. Totally not to hit that 5-minute mark. I'd like to give my thanks to Mr. Aliano, the best history teacher in yeah.